embrace their beliefs, mostly Jews and Christians, massacring and bringing people under subjection, putting heavy taxes on people who were willing to just subjugate themselves to their will, with an eventual goal of complete domination of the world. Everybody had to either believe as they did or be killed. That's sort of where it all started. In the name of such beliefs, more people have been killed than by any other ideology in human history. And it's continuing to today. That's why they can't leave us alone. That's why they can't have peace. Now, in order for their jihadist movement to extend, they must have a leader, a caliph. And they can't have a caliph unless they have a caliphate. And that's why they need to gather areas and territories. Now the last time they had a caliphate was in 1924 in Turkey, with Ataturk. They've been working at it for a long time to have this Islamic State. Now they've taken half of Iraq, a third of Syria. They have footholds in Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, and Libya's a biggie. Because you look at Libya on the map and you'll see that if you go north from Libya across the water, you're into southern Europe, just like that, very quickly. If you go south, you're into Chad and Niger, Sudan. It's a wonderful area from which to spread your influence. So if we're going to defeat them, you have to delegitimize them. They feel that they're legitimate now because they have an Islamic State. That's an essential part of their end time strategy. So we have to take that away from them. That means our strategy should be removing the land that they have required from them. Now, they hide amongst the people. And as a result of that, we don't do anything because we don't want to bomb people, obviously. However, if you begin to take the land from them, they have to come out and defend it, or they have to capitulate to you. You have to be ready for them when they come out to defend it. With your Apache helicopters and everything else, you wipe them out. That's the way that it needs to be done. You also need to recognize that they are the wealthiest terrorist organization in the world, ISIS. Why? Oil. Take the oil away from them. Don't let them have that resource. And certainly don't be playing politically correct games with them like the current administration that says in terms of rules of engagement, you may not bomb the oil tankers coming out of the refineries because there are people in them. Are you kidding me? I mean, I am as compassionate as anybody, but what I would simply say is any tankers coming out of there, we're going to bomb them, so if you don't want your people to die, don't put them in them. It seems like that would make a lot more sense than saying, oh, no, we're not going to bomb them because there's people there. That's just craziness. You know, you have to understand, if you're going to fight a war, you should fight the war to win it. And, you know, not you also have to realize that they are using social media in order to spread their message all over the world. They're trying to get to disaffected people, people who are frequently living in misery. And they can make their lives much better. They give them money and various missions and give them sort of a purpose in life. We need to shut down the pathways through which they're able to pay people. We need to be vigilant about that. We also need to put out, you know, counterpoint messages in terms of other types of lifestyles for people. And we need to use cyber warfare to destroy their ability to disseminate their messages. We need to go after their servers. And some people say that's dirty pool. Yes, it is, but they're dirty people. So you use dirty pool on dirty people. That's the way and then you have to realize they have a command and control center in Raqqa, and to a lesser extent in Mosul. We need to go after they can't let them sit comfortably there and, you know, like play a chess game and be figuring out all the things they're going to do. You know, in Sinjar a month ago, a city that ISIS had taken, we took it back with the Kurds. Our special ops people working with the Kurds choked off all the supply routes so that you softened the city, and then they went in with our Air Force behind them and they took the city. Not a difficult strategy. It works. Those are the kinds of things we have to do. Raqqa only has 4 routes in and out of it. Believe me, you can shut those off too. And you can put the pressure on them. And what they will have to do is they'll start fleeing. And you chase them every place they go. And you have them always on the run. If they're on the run rather than sitting comfortably back planning your strategy, it's going to make it much more difficult for them to be successful in this country. And then we have to be realistic about our own country. You know, this summer we went down to the border in Arizona and Mexico. And there's nothing to stop anybody from coming. I mean, there was a fence there that wouldn't have even slowed me down as a kid. And there were no border guards, just craziness. And in one place there was a big hole in the fence. And they had strung a couple of pieces of barbed wire across. And that's where the cameramen who were with us went through because they wanted to film from the other